Leadership is an act of selflessness. In fact, when you become a leader, it stops being about you, it starts being about the other people. It starts being about the institution, it starts being about the organization. It starts being about, the ability to influence society in a positive way. But in essence, in my view, leadership is a selfless act. As I said, it's a call to responsibility. It's not a title. I think many people tend to confuse leadership with a title. So you are a CEO, you are a president, you are a minister. And in essence, it's about the responsibility that is actually attached to that particular position of influence that you have. Welcome to the new season of One Day Leader, an exciting season. This season we're talking about Project South Africa. So we want to invite all South Africans, particularly young South Africans, to really watch One Day Leader, to really support this particular program.
Sifukanyelwe ubumnyama sesiyaxoxelwa manje thina ngokukhanya kwelanga. Kuthiwa ngaphandle impilo iyahamba kodwa la ngaphakathi bamila abayiphilayo. Zithi izihlobo zikamufi kwenile ethuneni likamufi mfowethu. Kuthiwa bayabuza mfowethu ukuthi besingayithokozela nibheli ke sambe siyobasusela ukhula liyamcindezela undodana ethuneni. Kuthiwa bayasonga mfowethu bathi masiphothula lesigwebo sethu kuyoba ngcono noLazarus mayizovuka ethuneni. Kuthiwa bakhala kakhulu mabezwa kuthiwa siyahleka la ngaphakathi. Bathi bayasaba mabecabanga ngathi abasawathembi kwelamaketanga siqaphile. Bathi bengangcono mayingalekelelwa nangeso lokhozi. Kuthiwa izolo emkhulekweni kade besolo ngabonwayo. Bathi noThixo unesandla uzidala kanjani izilwane ezakhiwe ngumfanekiso womuntu. Zithi izihlobo zikamufi mfowethu makwenzeka sithola ithuba siboyitshela imizimba yethu ukuthi ikhonzile inhlabathi yasemalibeni. Mina mfowethu ngangimbambile ukhumbulo wena wambulala. Izinhlamvu azifaka azilandelane esiphundu sidumba mfinyisa ibhullet ngamakhala. Mhlawumbe ukhona mfowethu wayizosikhuza mayekhala. Manje wasidonsa ngendlebe wathi mase roundini onembeza bethu sibobashiye emakhaya. Bathi umfethene emhlabeni useyabhoreka makuphela usuku igazi lomuntu bengalichithanga. Sihlobo zami la ngaphakathi sihlukene ngokwenza nangemcabango. Kukhona abakwazi ukukhamba nempilo bengekho kuyona. Ningathuki manizibona zidiza ndawonye lezinyoni ezifanayo. Nasendulo bekusibeka isinkwe etafuleni ukunibona nizilile. Nenhlupheki nesandla makwanda amathuna. La ngaphandle kunemizi emihle nefisayo. Eminye yayo yakhiwe ngemphefumulo yabantu abangasekho izintongazayo. Khoneka kuphoqa ukuba abakhala ukuze abanye baphumelele. Ngoba liyanondla igazi bantu abami. Bathi impumelelo obumnyama iyathandeka mayikhazimula. Ajabule omunye amamatheke mabemncoma. Athi mayifisa ukubonga ahluleke ukuphimisa ngingakhulumeki. Akhumbule ukuthi wathwala ngesimungulu. Wathi omunye mina Nkosi enkantolo ngilale nalo liphila idlozi. Ebusweni bakho besula umjuluko wamabele salukwazi ngozankosi. Kuke kwathuleka la kwampilo emile. Ngenkathi ijele lisixoxela kabanzi ngesiboshwa. Lithi ijele kokuqala abanye benu bangizondisa ngamathuna. Lithi khona kufanele ngabe basemathuneni kodwa ngomusa nangothando ngisabagcinile. Kunokuba ningibonge nangizamazamisa. Ukubaleka kwamanje igqizikakala ingakho ngize ngithukuthele ngigcine nabangenacala. Lithi la ngaphakathi kuke kwaphakama omunye phakama ngomunye wafela kumina. Zangizonda izihlobo zikamufi. Zathi kuba ngangenanga kumina ofile ngabe usaphila. Pho mina abunjwa ngenhlabathi nihluke ngane nginamathuna.
Asibonge kakhulu kuNhlanhla Mhlungu, who is a poet, imbongi and social commentator. Welcome, South Africa. My name is Shongwe, and yes, it is a great honor to be hosting you on this 8th season of One Day Leader. Thank you, Gakulu NYDA, for supporting us over the past years, and Natige, we commit to adhere to the call to keep youth leadership alive. One Day Leader is nearly a decade old, and this year we are celebrating 8 seasons to the series. To commemorate that, we'll be joined by 2 familiar faces who've contributed immensely to the show in the past. Since the show's inception in 2010, it's been our mission to play a big role in finding solutions to South Africa's intractable problems. Going forward, we'll continue to do so, tackling different difficult issues that we are facing as a country through lively and thought-provoking, intelligent debate. As with every first episode, we will introduce to you our top 20 hopefuls who will compete against one another to be one of our top 6 finalists. Now, over to our judges. We kick it off with our resident judges. He is our One Day Leader Season 2 winner and alumni, economist and entrepreneur, Ndumiso Hadebe. Former resident judge, environmentalist, entrepreneur and social activist, Catherine Constantinides. She is a journalist, magazine editor, columnist and all-round media practitioner. Please welcome Gugulethu Mhlungu. And former resident judge, entrepreneur, public relations guru and literature pundit, Tebogo. South Africa, let's give them all a warm welcome. Now, Tebogo, I'll come to you first. As a former judge on the show, what are your expectations for Season 8?
Well, firstly, we want contestants to have the ability to turn vision into reality. And it's easier said than done, but they need to be very committed, especially when they're doing their tasks, the ability to cooperate in a group and the ability to come up with solutions. Secondly, I think what is underrated in the communications process is listening. And I think that is a leadership trait that is missing, and it's totally underrated. And I think if you don't know what people need and what they want, you won't be able to serve their needs. So the ability to listen, do their research thoroughly, and really understand the questions and the task at hand is going to really work to their advantage.
Thank you very much, Tebogo. Let me come to you. You're a resident judge. Little Birdie told me that you're not going easy on contestants this season. What are your expectations, and is this true?
It is true. I think this is the biggest platform for young people. We've really done our work in selecting or looking for the best 30, who are now the top 20. We've given them a great deal of support. We've given them the expectations of the competition, and we're really looking for excellence. The competition is tough, and so I think our job is going to be very tough because really the top 20 is exceptional. I have very high expectations, and I have no doubt we're going to be amazed.
All right. Catherine, you've played a very big role in the past in terms of guiding our leaders to the top 20 contestants who'll be here today vying for a spot in the top 6. What's your advice?
Well, I think that this is the 8th season. So they have 8 seasons to look back on, lessons that they can take and bring with them into the show. And I think that Gugu speaks about excellence. And this is really, for me, key. We need to be an excellence-driven nation. We want people who are going to give us solutions that tomorrow we can go and implement. I have high hopes for this group as well, but I think the most important thing is that they need to remember they're given a platform here on One Day Leader, and South Africa is watching. They have millions of young people who would do anything to be in their position. They need to really own and enjoy and make the most of this very platform.
High expectations all round. I hope our contestants will deliver. Ndumiso, I have not left you out. I'll be coming back to you. But for now, remember that you at home can also be a part of this conversation by sharing your comments on any of our social media pages. We are on Twitter and Instagram at One Day Leader is where you can find us. And our Facebook page is One Day Leader Season 8. Masbuye Dolo, the judges will tell us more about the new season. And most importantly, we'll meet the cream of the crop of contestants who've made it to our top 20. One Day Leader Season 8, yabuye emva kwedolo. One Day Leader Season 8, Konalagu SABC 1. South Africa has changed a lot and we face many new challenges that need solutions. Got a letter here from one of our other judges, Ndumiso Hadebe. Ndumiso, you've walked this journey before. You were here last season. You've guided the contestants. What are you going to do differently and what are you hoping to see from them?
Well, I think this time around, I'm looking for a cohort of leaders who sweat the small stuff. I think the nature of the challenges that we face today are very complex and they require a nuanced and a broader perspective in terms of addressing them. So as a result, I think what would be quite telling of this year's contestants is the detail with which they go to with respect to their solutions. I think we're done with being general or being broad. Let's deal with the nitty-gritties of the issues. That's specifically what I'll be looking for.
Thank you very much. Tebogo, let me quickly come back to you. Yes. What would you say are some of the critical issues that South Africans are faced with and need those urgent solutions that we can implement tomorrow, as Catherine alluded to earlier?
Well, we have a lot of challenges. I think one of them is access to equal quality education. I think we're having a challenge in this country where we have a disparity between the Model C education and the township and rural education. For us to be a nation that provides equal access, to opportunities to various communities, we need to improve the quality of education in township and rural schools.
Catherine, I want to come to you. What creative or innovative ways do you want to see the leaders implement in order to come up with those solutions?
I think that it was said earlier, we need to be the ones that are coming up with the solutions that can be implemented. We can't just have ideas and solutions that we think somebody else should implement. What are we doing on the ground in our communities? When we look at some of these big challenges, what is it that we're doing in our individual capacities as young people? These young people come from different communities across South Africa. When we look at the challenges that are so big, we look at gender-based violence. This is a huge issue. What are we doing back at home every single day to address these issues, to create safe spaces, to have these kinds of discussions? So for me, it really is about what are we able to do to contribute, because in building a country, if we're doing it from the grassroots level up, it's our responsibility to come not only with the solution, but that implementation.
Googs, this year our theme is all about Project South Africa. Now you get a lot of young people who perhaps don't think they've got the personal agency to do something. What do you say to those people who are clearly capable of doing something, but perhaps don't know where to start?
I think young people in this country, and I think the world over, we're seeing young people become very aware of the kind of power they have. So I think part of what we are doing here is not so much, we're giving young people the opportunity to show us what they've been doing, the thinking they've been doing. Some of them are involved in community, political, certain movements. This then becomes an opportunity to spotlight that. And I think that's, for me, the most important thing is young South Africans aren't waiting to be saved. Like young people all over the world, they're just really hoping for an opportunity to show us what they've been doing. And I think that's going to be the other most exciting part here, is to see that innovative thought, the nitty-gritty, the solutions that are implementable and scalable that we can, start beginning to think about.
Fantastic. And lastly, Ndumiso, let me come to you. Our top 20 contestants are going to be with us shortly. What, in your opinion, do they need to do in order to secure themselves a spot in the top 6? It's all about capturing people's hearts at the end of the day and making sure that the judges hear very clearly what you've got to put forward.
Look, I think ultimately, as the judges seated here, after hearing them debate and speak, we need to be wiser after their debates. So if there's nothing new that we learn, nothing new that they bring forward, something that we all know, then I don't think it's worthy of being in the top 6. So ultimately, I think the basis of our adjudication will be, are we any wiser after that debate?
Whew, am I glad I am not a contestant. Before we meet our top 20 contestants, let us look at the journey that they have traveled to get here.
Step 1, step 1. Your 60 seconds starts now.
If the money that you're talking about is going to be spent within the economy, around the economy.
Combat drug addiction in non-violent and effective mechanisms. Sure.
Is your argument that we should legalize drugs?
Teach girls, especially those girls that find themselves ending up to use social grants.
They should see unemployment rising and they should consider voluntarism.
Women cannot do this alone. We as active citizens need to participate.
We know that this cannot be done overnight, but step by step we'll surely get there.
Oh, wait, can I please before you say anything, I know that's about Patricia Delin. If Patricia Delin had anything to do, there's commission of inquiry, there is the official general. She should have went there with the evidence and submitted there. No, you can't tell the people. You can't open your mouth and speak lies to the people of this country.
You may go through.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And it's...
Pick up the mic.
Okay.
Seconds and now
South Africa, without any further delay, here are your top 20 contestants. I'd like to welcome you all and congratulate you for making this far. I'm pretty sure that you will have a worthy journey. Now, in this box are the debate topics for today. And of course, the name of the person that our top 20 contestants will be debating with. It's not going to be easy. They are vying for a spot in our top 6. Contestants, if you don't make it, we always urge you to go back into your communities and continue making the change that you've been working on. Thank you very much. Now, coming up, the debate challenges will get underway as we go about selecting our top 6 contestants. Ungayi Ndawo, stay with us. One Day Leader Season 8. Yashis. Welcome back to One Day Leader, the show that grooms potential leaders into becoming leaders of today and the future. Igama nginguPearl Shongwe. Now, standing in front of me are the first 2 of the 20 contestants that have made it through to the last phase of auditions. They're about to battle it out for their spot in the top 6. Nikhumbuleke nalapha emakhaya ukuthi to share your comments on the debates and of course to name your favorite contestant, do visit all our social media pages, Twitter and Instagram at One Day Leader, and of course our Facebook page is One Day Leader Season 8. We are ready to kickstart our first round of debates, but first we'll give the contestants an opportunity to introduce themselves. Contestant 1.
Good day, my name is Kamogelowa Ralesabe. And I'm a change agent, I'm a change catalyst, and I operate in the financial industry.
I'm part of the top 20 and I feel very excited.
My name is Zizipho Mtyobile and I'm from Durban. I'm 19 years old, I'm an aviation student and I am a surgeon for humanity.
I'm excited because I've made it from top 30 to top 20 and I get a platform to shed light and I'm just nervous.
All right, contestants, I hope you're ready.
The topic today or this season is Project SA. How can we better enable? I mean, for example, I'll give you an example of the topic that I had. 4th Industrial Revolution, which sits very closely to my line of work.
Considering our country's high unemployment rate, is the 4th Industrial Revolution a threat or an opportunity in our current economy?
A certain level of digital skills serves as a requirement for most jobs today, and it is actually predicted that almost 5.7 million jobs within the next 10 years will be automated. Now, what we're saying is that the 4th Industrial Revolution actually offers us an opportunity to address unemployment by specifically adjusting our education models to upskill the current and next generation to catalyze innovation for digital transformation, which will propel the economy.
How do you propose that we speak to the redundancy of education, or specifically people that go into the education without having understood what the job market looks like?
Let me answer. My opponent was strong. She was challenging. I didn't expect some of her questions, and she defined her motion in a contrasting manner. So I really had to be an agile thinker.
I think I'm very impressed with both of you. You've done a great job. That was a very good debate, and I echo what Gugu has said, that you have improved from the top 30. I think my challenge was that, Kamogelo, you took a bit too long to enter the 4th Industrial Revolution. You did a great job of mapping out the issues, but I think that you needed to go into the nitty-gritties of the 4th Industrial Revolution and how we could use it either to our advantage or if we shouldn't be using it at all.
Just before going into studio, I kept going over my notes, making sure I was 100% down on the content and knew exactly what I was going to say, and that kind of got me into the better headspace that I needed to be in before going in. So yeah, it's been a pretty good mixture of really stressed, but also euphoric.
Babugeli, we got off to a great start with our first round of debates. So let's meet our next contestants. Contestant 1, please introduce yourself.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Gielman Mataya. I'm a proud boy from Kempton Park. I'm also known as the golden boy of public speaking. I'm a motivational speaker. Not only that, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm currently studying a BA marketing degree at Rosebank College.
Thank you very much. Contestant 2, welcome.
Hi, my name is Belle Miller. I'm from the Western Cape. I'm 24 years old. I'm a 2-time UCT graduate, and I'm a history student at the University of Cape Town.
Are you ready for the debate topic? Please give it to us, please.
Now the question reads, should we give black Africans who went to schools in predominantly disadvantaged areas preference over and above those who went to former Model C schools? This being an amendment on the triple BEE and yes. That's the question, yes.
You know, when I entered in there, I understood that I was going against a really good competitor. I mean, everybody, especially around here, was saying that Bella is going to bring it.
Oppression is not solely contingent on race, gender, and sexuality. Socioeconomic class is a major factor in determining systemic and often violent oppression of minority groups. This is specifically important in South Africa, which is the most unequal country in the world.
My question, and this is towards what you further stated earlier on. Now, should those receiving bursaries in private schools form part of the disadvantaged black Africans?
Definitely not, because this child is still going back to a home in an impoverished area with a lack of infrastructure. They might have access to MacBooks and Wi-Fi at their school, but when they go home,
then isn't that discrimination, though?
They don't. No, it's not discrimination.
You are discriminating
That's
against.
definitely not what
Historically, black people
is.
are what you call from previously disadvantaged areas.
I performed relatively well. The judges were smiling and nodding along pretty consistently during the speech. I enjoyed the rebuttal that Gielman and I had during the debate, so I think overall it was a pretty decent performance from both of us.
So the topic I got was really out of my comfort zone. It was on sports, racial transition within the sports sector. Something completely different from what I'm into, but challenging, and I'm always up for a challenge, so that was also exciting. What is racial transformation for those who don't understand? It is about the inclusion of previously disadvantaged individuals within the sports systems, that being people of color.
To further elaborate, I have a brother who was discovered by a doctor because of his structure. The doctor advised that he does scrum half because of the structure that is in. As from the background that we come from, he never considered rugby as a sport. He just opted for soccer because, I mean, he's just black.
So we need to educate them on the different options they have in terms of sports.
It's been an experience. I'm proud of myself. You know, most of the contestants here are debaters. They have debating experience, and I don't. I had to solely rely on my good vocal skills, speaking skills, the impact that I want to make in South Africa and what I stand for.
Social media is also a tool that we can use to actually break these stereotypes. What we should look at is the bigger picture, to say that beyond the scoring, beyond the stereotypical views of people, it's a platform where young people can actually articulate those concerns.
But what
and actually come up with solutions.
What kind of size of young people? How beautiful must they be? How accomplished must they be to be able to be finalists on those beauty pageants?
So what we need to look at here is that gun ownership is not a fundamental right. Actually, in 2018, the Constitutional Court ruled on this matter, saying that it's actually a
Thank you very much, contestants. Time is up. Contestant 1, you have 30 seconds.
Do you know that in South Africa, we are one of the worst countries when it comes to considering dialing 10-111 whenever we face an emergency? If these 3 million guns, you remove them in society, who's going to protect the general citizens from the rest of the 2 million guns? Because government is failing already to consider to go and protect people. Recently, government sent military to go and protect people in Western Cape, but guess what? In Manenberg, they were robbed guns that they went there with those guns.
Oh, you know, wow. I feel so grateful to be on this platform. It's something that I wouldn't have imagined in a million years.
Where in this constitution do we then include those traditional leaders?
They are already included in our constitution.
And what relevance do they serve us?
They serve us because they influence the morals. We have things such as customary law, which is implemented in the rural areas, which is good in dealing with rural issues and is more relevant than your constitutional law.
You know, from top 30 to top 20 out of over 500 contestants, and it's a really validating experience, and I feel as if I made it this far, then there's something within me that I need to transfer within the community.
Welcome back to One Day Leader Season 8, Konalago SABC 1 Mzansi for Shongwe, Gamangigu Pearl Shongwe. Before the break, we had our first round of debates, and now we're a step closer to deciding on our final top 6. It's time for us to kick off our next round of debate. We're going to meet our next contestants. Hello, contestant 1, please introduce yourself to South Africa.
Hello, South Africa. My name is Zanele Madlazi. I am born and bred in Soweto. I am currently a final year Bachelor of Education student and the outgoing chairperson of the UJDU.
Thank you very much. Contestant 2, introduce yourself.
Hi, South Africa. My name is Vusi Kombi, born and bred in Diepkloof, Soweto. Recently completed my BA Honours in Politics and International Relations.
I prepared. I think what helped me was the insights from last week, the top 30, you know, when the judges gave us the feedback after, you know, those debates, you know, and after I got the topic, I knew how I have to address it. I'm speaking to South Africans, ordinary South Africans, black and white, who went to school and who didn't. So I have to make sure I'm relatable to everyone.
In South Africa, there is cocaine, there is nyaupe. It's not advertised, and yet South Africans still buy itata, buy user, buy fage makalin. We still have...
Then this proves my point then,
also,
allow me to interject, please.
I'm giving pertinent reason right now.
Allow me to interject,
Also, this is a structural issue, a social issue. This does not need
Vusi, can I just interact for the time? And you're saying that people don't see nyaupa being advertised on TV, but they're access and they're addicts of it. Prove to me how banning the advertisement of alcohol means that we will not have drinking problems.
I'm not for that.
What is your stance then? What is your argument?
I said it will not lead to it.
It goes beyond stating facts, empirical evidence. If you want the nation to fall in love with you, you must be in touch with them. You must show the viewer that this person speaks my language, this person understands. So I think that's what set me apart.
Thank you very much. Time is up. Debocha, we'll come to you because it's more aligned to what you do. Public relations, marketing, it's all about sending those messages. What is your response to what you heard here?
I think on a lighter note, Mavusan, I think that debate of yours, Saitata, Sayuza, Fagamakandi, you did a very good job. You both came well prepared. I loved the amount of confidence that you had in your arguments. I think Mavusana, you may have pipped her for today because your empirical evidence was much stronger. There was a point in which you focused on the burden to our fiscus. And Zanele was supposed to come and say, but here are the benefits, you know, to our GDP, you know, because you can't just look at it on one side. And then you came and you told her about the benefits to our GDP in terms of sports sponsorship. So I think in terms of the sharpness of your debate, it was very strong. I think, Zanele, you were also very strong in this debate. What you need to do now is just go back and think about more empirical evidence in your arguments. Look very closely at whoever is your opponent and comb through the weaknesses in their arguments and then expose them, because you do have the delivery necessary to compete in this competition. So overall, I'm impressed with both of you.
Thank you very much, Debocha. Positive feedback for you both. Good luck for later on, and thank you so much for coming. I hope you are engaging with us on our various social media platforms, letting us know which are your favorite leaders in this competition so far. It is 20 of them debating it out to make it into the top 6. Let's meet our next leaders. Contestant 1, introduce yourself to Mzansi.
Sanbonan Bagiti, Kamala Mulindo Guhle Mabaso. I am from Mpumalanga originally, but currently reside in Alberton. I'm also a BA law student at Wits. I'm quite familiar with debating, so I am fortunate enough to not have to worry about the presentation aspect, but to immerse myself in the challenges that we are provided with.
Contestant 2, introduce yourself to us, please.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Prudence Mhlungu. I am originally from Johannesburg, but most of my projects are based in the Free State. I am an entrepreneur, a creative, and a media personality.
Contestant 1, what is the debate topic?
The question is, what implementable solutions would you propose to ensure that every citizen in the country has equal access to quality healthcare?
All right, with that, your 60 seconds start now.
What this debate requires is implementable solutions. What this means is that these are solutions that ought to be cost-effective, fairly cost-effective, but secondly, pragmatic in the short as well as medium run. My burden, therefore, is to present a pragmatic solution in rural areas where access is largely an issue, hence the disparity in access.
People who have seen me speak before, people who also are just starting to see me speak, will perhaps see me engage with the intricacies of issues that we have always spoken openly
about. And I think that's something I'm personally quite excited about, to be placed in a position where it isn't about what you sound like, but it is about your ability to think effectively of a solution.
Okay. But secondly, if you point out that your solution is to provide more knowledge, more mobile clinics, which I concede to, but also government focusing on improving facilities, I don't understand what is pragmatic, what is implementable about this, because every solution that largely hinges on the government improving certain facilities seems
now
more
South Africa needs psychological liberation, not only to be able to comprehend self-worth, but also social, economic, political, and a holistic ownership of a person's being. This can be achieved through knowledge. For the mere fact that a lot of public hospitals are filled with people that have lifestyle illnesses is a problem. Because in order for us to also improve the access, yes, the government can actually participate in improving the infrastructure in the clinics, but what do we do as people? What ownership do we take as individuals in order for us to create a healthy living?
Time is up. Thank you very much, contestants, for that. And Ndumiso, I want to come to you to give us your thoughts on that debate.
Congratulations. Congratulations. That was a very, very good debate. Very well researched. You challenged each other's facts. I think even in some of the assumptions that were made in the debate in and of itself, both of you guys challenged each other in that respect. I appreciated that you mentioned the question you both mentioned, and in fact, you guys both agree. You both mentioned the question of mobile classroom or mobile clinics, as it were. But I think there are certain reports that perhaps you may have studied to know that in South Africa, clinics, even in the most rural communities, are accessible within a 25-kilometer radius. So South Africa has achieved the access question. The debate question here is quality healthcare. So what do we then mean by quality healthcare? So we can deal with the access question, which in the broader sense of the word, South Africa has done well in doing that. But then how do we deal with the access and success patterns of making quality healthcare available to South Africans? So I would have loved if you dealt with that particular question, because in other areas, you generally agree and you did very well in that respect. Overall, good debate.
Can I get some water before?
What? There's water in the chair there.
Okay. Thanks, panel. My name is Kujama Mabolo. I'm 21 years of age. I'm a third-year student studying public administration, and I'm a leader. Being selected from top 30 to top 20, I think it says that I'm capable. They've seen potential in me, and I'm destined for great things. Just that I need to believe in myself.
Tables are now turned. Contestant 2, you have 60 seconds to give us your opening statement.
Panel, allow me to start by acknowledging that unions play a significant role in the basic education space. They are legally obliged to ensure that teachers are having a good quality standard in terms of teaching, and the basic education is constantly improving. My expectations of the debate when I walked in, I expected it to be a bit heated because I saw the person I was debating against, and I think she's smart, she's brilliant. So I wasn't expecting an easy ride. I was expecting to be challenged. The two mentioned are constantly in the forefront of the teachers' interests and pursuing their interests. However, I do feel like their powers need to be halted to a certain extent, because
All right, contestant 2, we're going to give you a moment and allow you two contestants to please engage each other on the topic.
Can I start over again? Just the dance. When I went to debate, it was, I won't even say below average. It was just bad. It was horrible. It doesn't represent me the way I think. I don't think I'm that incompetent. I can use the word. I think I messed up everything.
Kuta, for all intents and purposes, you were doing very well. I think it was the nerves, and that happens. It is high pressure, the stakes are high. But I think one of the important things is to recover quickly, to try as, make a mistake, take a moment, and then give yourself the opportunity to get as much of your argument out as possible.
Mzansi kumnandi ngempela khona la ku One Day Leader. We are getting into our next debate. Our two contestants are here, and we'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves to you. Contestant Contestant 1, welcome to One Day Leader.
Thank you very much. My name is Mapa Sekamura. I'm 23 years old. I moved from the premise that what Steve Biko said, that the most potent weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And from that, I've built my YouTube channel that seeks to teach and unteach certain things that we've learned.
Thank you very much, Contestant 1. Contestant 2.
Thank you. My name is Lukhuluma Ngonanto, and I'm 25 years old. I'm originally from King Williamstown, Ginsberg, but currently residing in Cape Town. My vision statement is disturbing the norm and conscientizing the society, making people aware that the solutions to all the problems they face lay with their own active involvement. We have to understand that immigration is not a color thing. Immigration is not a geographical thing, right? Immigration is not only limited to Africa. In South Africa, we have immigrants from Africa, we have immigrants from all over the globe. That does not necessarily mean that we should focus only on African immigrants and make it seem as if it's an African problem. The problem with this is it increases our population, right? It increases the competition for jobs as people with far more better skills now have access into the country. These people are undocumented. These people broke into the country one way or another. For example, for people to cross the border from South Africa to Zimbabwe, they only need to cross a fence, right? These are people who risk their lives to pass through the crocodile rivers of Limpopo to get here. These are undocumented people. When they're in here, we have no clue where they are, at what time, what they do. These people are at liberty, well, not at liberty, but they may be able to commit a serial of crimes, and there's no way for us to be able to track who these people are because they're undocumented. And the mere fact that they got here illegally makes it very difficult for us to be able to track them, who they are.
Your 90 seconds to debate starts now.
Okay.
And this is also not cost effective for us,
I'll help you out with some stats before you continue.
In 27, 2,000 people are arrested every month. We have to deport
That's
the same
amazing.
people
You had your
every
chance.
month.
Will you let me speak?
It's an engagement time.
Will you let me speak?
It's
Can I ask
engagement.
you a question?
Go ahead.
Let me educate you with some stats. In 2017, 37.7% of immigrants were not in education, employment, or training, as compared to 34.2% of internal migrants and 29.6% of non-movers. So this whole notion that immigrants are coming to South Africa to take our jobs, as though when they come to this country, they're not at a disadvantage,
most likely
is actually
you got your stats
incorrect.
from Wikipedia, right? Most likely you got your stats from Wikipedia.
No, I got this from a report from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and the International Labour Organization.
Fine. The problem we have in South Africa is the low economic status of the majority of the people, right? Majority of the people in South Africa are poor, and as a result, they're in competition for like your low-paying skills job, right? Which is contracting, painting, and so on. So now the problem is when you have other foreigners coming into South Africa offering the exact same services but at a lower price, it then creates a competition between the South Africans, which are heavily dependent on those jobs, and the immigrants which are coming to South Africa illegally. And thus, that also creates xenophobic attacks where we have people competing and under the impression that it's the foreign nationals that are coming into South Africa to take their jobs away, which is also false, by the way.
Time is up. Thank you very much. Tebogo, very briefly, your impressions of that debate.
I think what you should have done is focused on the practicalities of each solution. So, Mapaseka, I know that you're a Pan-Africanist and you believe in regional integration. But I think that what Mr. Nanto should have done is looked at your plan to put them in centers and looked at whether or not it's practical with the resources that we currently have. And then you'd speak about the ills that we have around unemployment. We've got already, it's going to 30% unemployment. And all of these issues, including geographic spatial planning, that could hamper our economy. And so you would have said that it's not practical for us to do that. And then Mapaseka, perhaps you would have spoken about how we need to bring down the borders, because it's important for intra-Africa trade and using global examples for us to grow together. Because the truth of the matter is that if a neighboring country is not doing well, obviously there's going to be more migration. And we need to develop together to ensure that we close all of those loopholes. I think that from a regulation perspective, you were very succinct, Mr. Nantu. I think you were very clear on that you're going to focus on the legal principles. And also asking her how are you going to track all of these people, and then raising the issue around the social economic challenges that we had. So I was quite impressed by Mr. Nantu and the way that you presented, but I do think that Mapaseka, you do have a lot of potential. You just fell short today.
Thank you very much, contestants. We wish you all the best for the end of this episode. Mzansi, who do you think will make it to our top 6? Ninga Kosha, Augustela Peluguti. ukuthi nicabangani ngama-contestants and wabonile kuhlelo lethu lanamhlanje. We want to know who your favorites are. Xhumana nathi sikhona kuma-social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and of course Instagram, and you can engage. It's your opportunity to give us feedback. Masbuye Kefini, the judges will reveal their final decision. Welcome back, South Africa. You are watching One Day Leader Season 8, and this is our very first episode. Shongwe. We are now in the final segment of our show for today, and of course, we're going to find out who our top 6 finalists are. But before we do so, turn to the judges, and please, judges, give us your closing remarks in terms of everything that you saw today. Ndumiso, I'll start with you.
Well, I think overall we were quite pleased that some of the feedback that we'd given in the top 30, we were able to integrate them in today's debate. One problem that we didn't actually have is that all of you guys presented with confidence. Some of you guys within the team had dropped the mic and then you picked it up again and you went on, which is quite fabulous to see. From the content side, there's been a level of enrichment that has taken place in terms of the research that you guys are doing, which was good to note. In certain areas, there was a question around interpretation of research, which I think that's something that can be trained. But overall, I'm quite encouraged by the next cohort of South Africa's future leaders. I look forward to what you guys will turn out to be once you're put under hot water. But overall, congratulations for making it this far. I'm exceptionally proud of each and every one of you.
All right, thank you, Ndumiso. Cooks?
I think quite an exciting round of debates. I think the standard, the quality of the debates was exceptional. I think you really took to heart our request that you bring your A game, that you do your best. And so trying to narrow it down to 6 has been very difficult, and which is a good problem to have. I think the quality of leadership and thoughts that you guys have presented is impeccable. Those of you who do make it, but also those of you who don't make it, I think we've had a very difficult task, and I'm very glad, because that's the kind of thing we're looking for, and I'm excited for this season.
All right, and Tebogo?
I think you can be proud of yourself for making it this far. You are all exceptional, and in your hands, I think the future of this country is safe. I think you defined the saying, we are who we have been waiting for. And I think we should also remember to continue to invest in ourselves. We should remember that we are who we are today because of the choices that we made yesterday, and we will become who we are tomorrow because of the choices that we made today. So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, judges. Babugeli, unfortunately, Catherine had to leave us for today, but we do appreciate her contribution to tonight's episode, and she did not leave without putting down her scores. So do rest assured that whoever it is that she has chosen, or whoever it is that she has awarded points to, that will also be accounted for tonight. It is time for me now to reveal our top 6 that we'll be going through, and it's not an easy task. Congratulations to all of you leaders for making it thus far once again. As Tebogo said, you have proven that the country is safe in your hands. The woke people will say you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. So well done on today. In this envelope, I have the names of the 6 contestants who will be our final leaders. You've done your best. You brought your A game. You left it all behind the podium. But was it enough? Were you as prepared as the judges asked you to be? Did you bring your points across clearly and confidently? Judges, are you sure? Congratulations, Bal Miller. You're the first contestant to go through. Who is going to be next? Who has secured their place in the final top 6? Did you do enough to impress South Africa? But most importantly, did you do enough to impress our judges? We can never be too sure. But someone who is today is Vusi Gumbi. Congratulations. The competition is stiff. No one said it will be easy. If it were easy, we'd all be up there. With that, the next person to make it through is Ndumiso. We are on the halfway mark. There are 3 more contestants that have been chosen. Have you made it through? The next contestant to have made it Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to wait till next week to find out who our last 3 contestants are going to be. The judges have made their selections. They know exactly who is going to make it into our final 6. 3 have been chosen tonight, but next week you'll have to tune in right here on One Day Leader to find out who will be joining these 3 contestants. And yes, that is how we conclude our show for tonight. I'd like to thank our judges for coming through. As always, your insights, your guidance is much treasured, and I'm sure that our leaders have a long way to go and they have learned a lot from you. So thank you very much, judges. And to you, South Africa, thank you so much for watching tonight. To our contestants, you have been a part of this amazing season of One Day Leader. It's only the beginning, by the way, so make sure that you're back with us next week, Konalago SABC 1, because we have a lot in store for you. That is where we'll leave it for tonight. Till next week, South Africa, I love you.